There is a moment when you look at your bank account and wonder, how did I work this hard and still end up with nothing? The paycheck came in. The bills were paid. You bought a few things. You went out with friends. You ordered food. You subscribed to services you barely use. And somehow, before you even realize it, the money is gone. Then you tell yourself the same thing millions of people tell themselves. Next month will be different. But next month comes, and the cycle begins again. The truth is uncomfortable, but it can also be liberating. Your financial life does not change simply because you earn more money. It changes when you learn to control the money you already have. Because money is not only money. Money represents time. If you earn $25 an hour, then every $100 you spend represents roughly 4 hours of your life. 4 hours of your energy. 4 hours you could have spent with your family, building a skill, resting, creating something, or simply living. So the next time you are about to make a purchase, don't only ask, can I afford it? Ask yourself, is this worth the time it took me to earn it? That question can completely change your relationship with money. Imagine a man named Michael. Michael works hard. He isn't lazy. He wakes up early, goes to work, comes home tired, and does his best to support himself and his family. But Michael has one problem. He doesn't tell his money where to go. His money decides for him. A few dollars on coffee, a few more on delivery, a subscription here, an online purchase there, a new gadget because it was on sale, a weekend dinner because everyone else was going. None of these purchases seem dangerous. But financial problems rarely begin with one enormous purchase. They often begin with dozens of small decisions that nobody takes seriously. A ship doesn't sink because of one drop of water. It sinks because water keeps entering. Your finances can work the same way. And that's why controlling your money begins with awareness. For the next 30 days, watch where your money goes. Don't judge yourself. Don't make excuses. Just observe. Write down every expense. The coffee, the restaurant, the subscription, the impulse purchase, the unnecessary upgrade, the money you spent because you were bored, the money you spent because you were stressed. Then look at the total. You may discover that the problem isn't one giant expense. It's a collection of small leaks. And once you see the leaks, you can close them. But there is another trap that keeps people financially stuck. It's the belief that more income will solve everything. You think, if I could just make another $1,000 a month, everything would be fine. Then you get the raise. And somehow, nothing changes. Your apartment gets more expensive. Your car gets upgraded. Your lifestyle becomes more comfortable. Your spending increases. And the extra income disappears. That's called lifestyle inflation. You earn more, so you spend more. You spend more, so you need to earn even more. And suddenly, the raise that was supposed to give you freedom has created another chain around your life. Don't let that happen. When your income increases, allow your savings and investments to increase before your lifestyle does. You don't need to prove that you're making more money. You need to use that money to make your future stronger. Because looking rich and becoming financially secure are two completely different things. Someone can drive a $70,000 car and have no financial peace. Someone else can drive an older car and have money saved, investments growing, and no fear when an unexpected bill arrives. Which person is actually wealthier? The answer isn't always visible from the outside. Real wealth often looks boring. It looks like saying no. It looks like waiting. It looks like driving the car you already own. It looks like cooking at home. It looks like keeping an emergency fund instead of buying something simply because you want it. Nobody may applaud you. Nobody may even know. But your future self will. Because every time you choose discipline over impulse, you're giving your future more options. And that's what money is really about. Options. Imagine losing your job and knowing you can survive for several months. Imagine receiving an unexpected $1,000 bill and thinking, I'll handle it. Imagine having enough financial breathing room to walk away from a job that destroys your peace. Imagine being able to help someone you love without putting yourself into financial danger. That is the power of controlling money. It isn't about becoming obsessed with wealth. It's about becoming less dependent on circumstances. But there is something else you must learn. You cannot save your way to unlimited wealth. Eventually, you need to increase your ability to earn. And that means investing in yourself. Learn a skill. Improve your communication. Learn sales. Learn technology. Learn a trade. Learn how to create something people are willing to pay for. Don't spend every evening consuming information that makes someone else rich while wondering why your own life isn't changing. 1 hour a day spent developing a valuable skill can become hundreds of hours over a year, and those hours can change your earning potential. Your current income is not necessarily your permanent income. You can become more valuable. You can become more capable. You can become more disciplined. But you have to decide that your future deserves investment. And remember this: you don't need to be rich to start managing money well. If you have $100, learn to control $100. If you have $1,000, learn to control $1,000. The amount will change. The principle remains the same. Give your money a purpose. Pay your necessary expenses. Build savings. Reduce expensive debt. Invest appropriately for your long-term goals. And leave room to enjoy life. Because financial discipline doesn't mean never enjoying your money. What's the point of working hard if you can't enjoy anything? The goal isn't to make your life miserable. The goal is to stop spending tomorrow's freedom on today's impulse. Enjoy your money intentionally. Spend on things that genuinely matter to you. Spend on experiences with people you love. Spend on things that improve your life. But stop spending simply because you're bored, insecure, stressed, or trying to impress people. Because sometimes you aren't buying the product. You're buying a feeling. You see a luxury car and think it will make you feel successful. You see an expensive watch and think it will make people respect you. You see someone else's vacation and suddenly your own life feels boring. Social media makes this worse. You're comparing your ordinary Tuesday to somebody else's best 5 seconds. You don't know their debt. You don't know their stress. You don't know what's happening behind the picture. So stop building your financial life around appearances. You don't need to compete with people who aren't paying your bills. Your life has its own timeline. Maybe your friend bought a house at 25. Maybe someone else started a successful company. Maybe another person is traveling around the world. Good for them. But their journey is not your journey. Define success for yourself. Maybe success means becoming debt-free. Maybe it means having 6 months of expenses saved. Maybe it means starting a business. Maybe it means spending more time with your children. Maybe it means having the freedom to choose where you work and how you spend your time. Whatever your definition is, write it down. Because if you don't define success, the world will define it for you. And the world will tell you that success means buying bigger things. A bigger house, a newer car, a more expensive phone, a more impressive lifestyle. But you don't have to play that game. The strongest person in the room may be the person who doesn't need to prove anything. Financial control also means learning to delay gratification. Your present self wants the reward now. Your future self wants freedom later. Every purchase is a conversation between those two versions of you. Your present self says, "I deserve this." Your future self asks, "Do I deserve peace more?" Your present self says, "Everyone else has won." Your future self says, "I don't need to live someone else's life." Your present self says, "It's only $50. Your future self says, "Small decisions become big results when repeated for years." That is why discipline matters. Not because discipline makes life smaller. Because discipline protects what matters most. And don't expect perfection. You will make mistakes. There will be months when you overspend. There will be emergencies. There may be financial decisions you regret. Don't turn one mistake into an identity. Don't say, "I'm terrible with money." Say, "I'm learning." Then correct the mistake. Financial strength isn't about never falling. It's about becoming someone who knows how to get back up. And now, imagine yourself 5 years from today. You didn't become rich overnight. You didn't win the lottery. You simply made better decisions. You saved consistently. You controlled your spending. You learned new skills. You increased your income. You avoided unnecessary debt. You invested for the future. You stopped trying to impress everyone. You became comfortable saying no. And slowly, your life changed. Maybe you're still working, but you have choices. Maybe you still have bills, but they don't control every decision. Maybe you aren't a millionaire, but you can sleep at night. That's freedom. Freedom isn't always a private jet or a mansion. Sometimes freedom is opening your bank account and not feeling afraid. Sometimes freedom is having enough savings to handle an emergency. Sometimes freedom is being able to say no to something that isn't right for you. Sometimes freedom is having time for the people you love. Money is a tool. Use it to build those things. Don't worship money. Don't fear money. Don't let money define your worth. Learn to control it. Because when your money has direction, your life begins to have direction. So start today. Look at your last 30 days of spending. Find the leaks. Choose what needs to change. Set one financial goal. Save something, even if the amount feels small. Learn something that can increase your value. And before every unnecessary purchase, pause and ask, is this helping me build the life I want? Or is it keeping me trapped in the life I'm trying to escape? You don't have to transform everything today. You just have to make one better decision, then another, then another. Because your future isn't created in one dramatic moment. It is created quietly, through ordinary decisions repeated over time. $1 saved. One unnecessary purchase avoided. One skill learned. One debt reduced. One investment made. One temptation resisted. One disciplined day. And eventually, those small decisions become something much bigger. They become confidence. They become security. They become freedom. So don't wait for a bigger paycheck. Don't wait for the perfect moment. Don't wait until you're older. Start with what you have. Because the goal isn't simply to make more money. The goal is to become the person who knows what to do when more money comes. Control your money. Control your habits. Control your priorities. And little by little, you begin to control the direction of your life. If this message spoke to you, don't just listen to it and move on. Take one action today. Look at your money. Make a plan. And choose one habit you're going to change. Then share this video with someone who needs to hear it. And if you want more motivational lessons about discipline, money, success, and building a stronger life, subscribe to the channel. Your future self is depending on the decisions you make today. Make sure you give that future self something to thank you for.